Hi, I'm Katie, and in this video, we're talking about how you can stay focused as an entrepreneur. I share with you my 3 unique strategies that allow you to stay focused so you're not hopping around putting out daily fires. Maybe the reason you're not focused is because you're jumping around doing things that feel disconnected from what you actually want. What happens in this scenario is your head and your heart are not aligned. Your head is saying, I have to do these things because I'm behind. And your heart's saying, yeah, but I want to go do this thing because that lights me up and that excites me. So we're going to talk about how you can get these 2 things on the same page and create alignment. So if you want to be focused, here's step number 1. You got to get out of your head. We think we can figure it all out in here, but the reality is you can be way more effective if you just get out of your head. You might not realize this, but your thoughts and your feelings start to become this jumbled mess inside of you. And so this process of getting out of your head and trying to connect words to describe and articulate your vision or what you're feeling or what you're seeing, that process of finding the words is exactly what you need. How do you do that? You get out of your head. You either write it out, you speak it, you say it, you share it, you have conversation, dialogue with your team members. Bottom line, you got to get out of your head. I have this incredible client, Luis, who had big vision and big frustration because he was so far from that vision when I met him. And one of the things that I taught him to do was start getting out of his head, both with me and inside of a journal on a very regular basis. And in the beginning, he would talk to me and honestly wasn't totally coherent. It was kind of hard to just understand what he was trying to say, because there was so much going on. And so he developed this practice of getting out of his head and sharing, describing, articulating with me and in a journal. And in this process, he started to unwind this jumbled mess of the head and the heart and started to really make sense of what it is that he wanted. So you've got to get out of your head. Step number 1. Step 2, we've got to clearly define the vision. So now that we're getting out of our head, we've got to bring that definition to the vision of the company. My client, Luis, as he was getting out of his head, he started to see how he was building something that was a much smaller version of a bigger dream that he had. And that was extremely frustrating for him. So as he was getting out of his head and we worked together on this, we started to define this much bigger vision that he has. And we started to figure out how the thing he was actively working on and building right now today, it was one component of this much bigger business. But once he felt like his big dreams and passion was now captured in this big vision and he had clarity on it because it was clearly defined now, he then became excited to work on his smaller business right now, right? But before then, before it was all defined, internally he had conflict going to work on his business because it wasn't what he really wanted. Now that he began to see how the thing that he was actively working on was a major component of this bigger vision that he was building, then all of a sudden he was excited to engage with this team. He was excited to grow the business, and there was no longer this internal conflict. You know what else is exciting? Is clicking the link below. Right now you have a chance to follow my YouTube channel. I'm Katie Richardson. I can help you with so many things in your business, and we're just getting started. So click the link below and make sure you capture all of my videos that I'm sharing with you. Now that we have clearly defined your vision, now we want to ensure that your actions are aligning with this vision. This is where we can literally look at your calendar, look at your day, look at the things that you're focused on and actively working on and say, is this moving us towards this bigger vision and goal, or is it a distraction? Oftentimes, without realizing it, we can be really spreading ourselves too thin and diverting our attention and energy and focus. And listen, those are valuable resources. What would happen if things that are kind of taking you in many different directions, what if we eliminated those things and the only things that you were doing were moving you one step at a time towards this bigger vision and goal? Action is the difference between a dream and a reality. And so it's not enough to just say what you want. You have to back it up with action. And you might be thinking, Katie, I'm doing that. And I'm working 80, 100, 120 hours a week doing that. And that's where I'm going to say, go watch that other video I have on communicating with your team and scaling a business online, because not only do we want to align your actions towards this vision, but we want to empower the team to have their actions aligned towards this vision. And to go back to Luis, he realized that he was doing way too many things in his business himself, and that his actions were kind of scattered. So as we had these conversations and helped him really define this vision, he was then able to go and create alignment with his business partner and his team and really empower them to go build out and complete this vision. And now, when he's working on his business, he knows he's building something that lights him up. He knows he's building that big vision and dream that he feels so deep inside. And ultimately, he's working on something that he wants to create. So how can you put this into action? Right now, I want you to just make a decision. Make a decision. Are you gonna go watch another one of my YouTube videos and not take action? Or can you make a decision and commitment right now to start putting this into action? How can you put this into action? Get out of your head. Grab a journal. I don't care which one. Grab a journal, a piece of paper, a stack out of the printer, and start writing out your vision and how you can connect that to action. Make a decision right now to do step number 1 and get out of your head. You would not believe how much clarity comes just from getting everything that's going on inside of your head, getting it out on paper. You're gonna look at it and you're gonna say, holy cow, Katie, there was a lot going on in there. In fact, your spouse will probably look at it and say, is that what's going on inside of your head all day, every day? And you'll be like, it's just a portion of it, right? Get it out of your head. That's how you can really kind of move it around, manipulate it, organize it in a way that it makes sense and you're able to be super effective. So that is my call to action here. Grab a journal, get out of your head, and start defining specifically what your targets are and how you can connect that to action. And that is just the beginning of how I can help you. We're just getting started. Isn't this awesome? Your next step is to download my free guidebook. This is where I'm gonna show you how to go be that guy, that woman, that incredible CEO, entrepreneur, founder, creator, how to go be the one. Listen, building a business is awesome and amazing, but you want more than that. You want an incredible family. You want an amazing marriage. You want a deep, profound relationship with God. You want to be strong and healthy and vibrant in your life. So how do you do all of these things successfully? I can show you how, and it starts with this free guidebook. Click the link below. Did I mention it's free? It's so easy for you to get started. You can do it right now. I'm Katie, and I'll see you in the next video.